Your friend insists on you introducing them to your new special friend. What do you say? I'll say yes. And I think that by the rocky, short cliffs and the crashing surf of the ocean are a perfectly reasonable place to meet towards sundown. A lot of people like to go and walk up and down and around all of those coastal areas to enjoy the sunset and smell the sea air and things like that. And so, various solitary or small gatherings or even large groups have been known to go and be seen there. And yet it's reasonably, personal. People don't mix with other people that they didn't go with. And it's the right kind of setting, really. So, yes, I think that would be fine. My friend is perhaps, in fact, I know. Yeah, this friend is not really somebody that I'm happy knows about me and the beast, especially as time has gone by since the last time we talked of it. And this friend, in many ways, is coming to embody to me so much of what I escape by being with her and that I try to live without in ordinary life, but unsuccessfully. This is the kind of guy who posts incessantly in social media about the wonderful books that they just got from outlets and stuff, and has all these kind of cool trippy titles and things that they post about what they just bought. And yet the only commentary about it is about what kind of a great movie it would make, or why didn't they make a good movie out of this instead of the sucky one, or yeah, all this kind of pop media interpretation of science fiction and fantasy. As far as I can tell, they haven't cracked one of the books, and at least haven't spoken about them in any way, shape, or form that indicated reading them. And it's amazing how much that has been getting up my nose over the years. It's emblematic of so many other things for somebody who likes to think of themselves as a free thinker and not trapped by sheeple thought and stuff like that. They do literally nothing except consume and value and then retransmit, basically serving as free advertising for consumer product. In terms of they think of it as edgy or alternative or gamer and stuff like that, and it's just they might as well be doing Tupperware. And the more and more that this has become a dominant feature of this person's life, and the more a friendship is a matter of habit, and the more the underlying emotional currents of us interacting with each other have become less and less and less fun as we've gone along. It would have been 10 years ago kind of cool to have an insider buddy know about me and the beast. Now this is onerous, and I am perfectly happy to introduce them. So therefore, yes, we are talking about a beautiful, beautiful West Coast sunset over the Pacific, and we're talking about landscapes that are casual to the people who live there, but are just knockouts to anyone else. And the the beast, when she wants to, is quite personable and charming, and seems to be almost the ideal version of that aging, still got it hippie woman who is just completely not a ditz, and is just a little bit ahead of you. That, in my experience anyway, men just kind of fall right over and roll over in front of. And so she and he and I have a perfectly charming conversation. It's kind of nice to be out there where, I might have been many, many decades ago as a high school student, drinking a beer that I'd shoulder tapped someone for. Um, and now, we're out here at the same rocks, um, smelling tide pools, and, you know, as the sky darkens into night, the moon is already up. It rises before the sunset and is spectacular. And the talk, meanders around pop, hip to profound to, uh, you know, trivial to emotional. For a little while there, I kind of forget all the context, and it's just really a pleasure to be having this kind of interaction with people. I, hardly ever have it anymore. In fact, I don't. And so it's kind of reliving that or recapturing it for a little bit. I excuse myself and wander back up to the overhanging uh, sort of cliff top where it's continuous with a little bit more hilly area, and then up to the coastal road. And head up there, um, hang out, do what you do, which in these day and age means checking your email for no good reason and that kind of stuff. And I wait a bit. Um, and after a little while, the beast comes up and uh, kisses me goodnight, crosses the road, and vanishes into the woods. And I'll hop in my car and drive off. Yeah. From now on, I think I'll have good memories of my friend. Who had sex with the beast before you? Whoever she wanted. But it does raise the question, am I the latest of some sort of practice of worship? Is this a, a new thing for her? Their relationship with me doesn't seem like it. But in what context? I mean, was it a community? Is this a cosmic? Perhaps am I the last priest of the last goddess? Seems a little grandiose for sweaty, monstrous romping. But I can't deny that she's not sick anymore, and the last act was certainly a heartfelt one of sacrifice, uh, with an attendance of mixed emotions um, that I'm not really used to. Don't Not big on mixing emotions personally. Like to feel one thing at a time, and this is a little different. The mix of emotions is in and of itself, a thing. Like the kids' movie, feel more than one thing at once. Ooh, growing up. Well, anyway, in this case, I am not all that, interested in terms of prior lovers of the beast. It seems to me as though that might be stretching back into generations and cultures and, situations that are simply out of my scale of interest. Um, as far as, like someone like me, not too long before me or something like that, well, wow, it's really bizarre. I just cannot get worked up about it. Just like I don't see it as, like having another relationship with, another woman besides my partner. That's really not what's happening. And so I simply don't have the connections or thoughts about other lovers of the beast. If we're somebody at the same time, no, that wouldn't happen. Or if it does, it's not even in my zone of perception. No, doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, that's all I can say. Whoever she wanted, under whatever conditions it made sense then, and leading me to wonder what the conditions are in fact now, outside of merely our emotional and person beast connection. The beast ignores you when you want to have sex and behaves abnormally in general. What do you do? Well, this is not too terrible. If nothing changed based on recent events, then I would be vastly disturbed or disappointed. So, well, no sex for a bit. Okay, let's find out what's happening. This abnormal behavior, the beast is out and about, uh, being seen as a person, functioning out there or out with us, not just hidden away in the woods. And also up to something. Our nest or our enclosed world is changed in what she has done with it. Different kinds of symbology, different kinds of decoration, different kinds of things brought there. I am not sure if I quite get it because it's more bestial rather than less in there, whereas the beast is obviously, at least outwardly, less bestial when she's roaming about and interacting with people and doing things, telling me about them. It's all boring to hear about in detail, talking with somebody at the bagel place or something like that. But it is intense in terms of the difference in apparently how the beast is choosing to handle her time. And I can't help but think that this all has to do with the recent offerings we have made each other. The object which I have kept carefully tended, and the sacrifice, if that's the right word for something that I found that I very much wanted to do, made the recovery from her illness, which seems to be all bound up with those things. Clearly, something's going on. I'm here. I'm part of it. I am ready. What does the beast provide you with apart from sex? What need of yours does it fulfill? All the more so now. And really, come on, this whole sex trip. I mean, look, this is not just rumpy pumpy with a fuzzy sex toy, okay? This is the beast. This is much more than some experience of mine. This is turning into something much more profound and important to everybody. Yes, yes, sex. Okay, rah, rah. But that was just the way there. The hope is what I'm talking about. I mentioned the awakening of hope. I mentioned the potential for, well, what I would have thought of as completely dead culturally and experientially. And articulating it to you, if you don't see it by now, is of no matter. Because if the beast is successful, if that's the word, shall we say, fully realized or active, awakened, then what you think of it doesn't really matter. Now, does it? And good riddance, frankly. So, yeah, that's what is fulfilled for me. Even if it doesn't happen, it might. And believe me, that is more hope fulfilled than anything. Your body started to transform after repeatedly being in contact with the beast. How does this manifest? I guess the beast is no longer alone. It's wonderful to be a beast. It's wonderful to be the beasts together. And now I get to be in the forest. I get to be the one hidden away. I get to be the one preparing back here in here for the world to come. Choose one. The beast leaves, the beast dies. I kill the beast, I leave the beast. Boy, when they say endings, they mean endings. Well, it's not a bad thing. The beast leaves in the sense that the nature of our relationship is done, and I no longer see her. But you know what? I'm okay with that because there is still a beast. He is in his lair in the forests. And by and by, perhaps even right now, the next lover of the beast is about to find him. As for my beast, let's hope the world outside gets to know her a lot better real soon.